Hello and welcome back to my channel. This video is part of a series here at International Yankee English, where we will talk about how to write well, Writing Wednesday. You will learn everything from what academic English is, to how to write a thesis statement, to how to edit and proofread. So be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And let's get into today's video. In today's video, we will look at formatting or layouts and structuring. We will cover these 4 topics, and we will talk about some of the less obvious aspects as well. Next week, we will talk about academic sources. So let's begin with the foundation of an essay. The basics of structuring. I have 3 main points listed here for you guys, followed by the reference list. Let's start up at the top. The upside down triangle represents the introduction. This is approximately 10% of your essay. It starts with a hook. It provides background information and it outlines your essay from general to specific. That is why the triangle is upside down, so the more general information comes up top, and then the outline and the extra essential information followed here with your thesis statement. It ends with the thesis statement. I will have another video on introductions and conclusions where I go into more detail. Following the introduction is the body. This is approximately 80% of your essay. So these paragraphs, the body paragraphs, are the so-called meat of your essay, and it is where you elaborate on your ideas in a clear, concise manner. Main ideas are grouped cohesively into body paragraphs that are presented in a logical manner. Next up, we have the conclusion. So not only do we have the exclamation point, but we have a regular triangle where you start with the more specific and then go to the more general. This is also approximately 10% of your essay, like the introduction is. It starts by connecting the body to the thesis statement. So here you have the little part for your thesis statement, and here a little part. You are not simply restating the thesis statement, but be sure to come back to watch my video on introductions and conclusions to get more information. You will end up clarifying the final idea behind the thesis statement with support of main ideas that you presented in the body. You also will make a recommendation if it is appropriate to do so. Following the conclusion of your essay is the reference list, and depending on which format you are following, APA, Harvard, MLA, Chicago Manual, etc., you need to make sure that you follow the proper formatting rules for that referencing style. It always comes at the end, though some formatting styles will also have footnotes. So be sure to look into the formatting style that you are using. There are other requirements such as a title page at the beginning, an index, or a glossary that will vary depending on the format that you are using. So be sure to come back and watch next week's video where I talk about references to learn more about using a reference list and in-text citations. Okay, next up I have the 5-paragraph essay structure example. Now, this is something that has been done many times over. There are many different examples on the internet. This is one that I have created based on other models that I like to use as a Word document so students can fill in the information themselves. I will have a copy of this available in my Facebook support group if you're interested in gaining access to this specific document. So here's an example topic and an example title. This is always useful to outline your paper using this document that I have here that presents the 5-paragraph essay structure. You will remember from the last image I showed you, the upside down triangle representing the introduction. You always begin with the introduction. You have here some examples of the information that will come in which part of your introduction. Then you follow it up with the first body paragraph. And here we have an example of a main idea that can be covered in your first body paragraph. And then I will also have a video on paragraphing where I talk about texts. And that is all of the ideas that you see here in these columns. And I have some examples for a topic sentence, evidence and elaboration, explanation, examples, analysis, and summary and sources. And then I have empty examples for body paragraphs 2 and 3. So you have here the 3 body paragraphs, you have the introduction paragraph, and you finish it off with your conclusion. This here is because the structure was meant for a slightly longer essay. And here we have the conclusion, where you draw back the main points to the thesis statement, the concluding ideas and recommendations, and general conclusions. And that is then a regular triangle where you start with the specific information, and then you get into the more generalized conclusion of the essay at the end. So I would like to show you guys some different examples of formatting or layouts, different referencing styles that you will use. I will go into more detail in next week's video, but here is just an overview. I will link these examples in the description box for you. Here is an example of APA. You can see some of the different things here on this title page. And then you can see the different styles here with the indentation and that they use an abstract and what is involved in an abstract. Then you will see the title and how the different paragraphs are formatted, as well as abbreviations that are used, in-text citations, and so on and so forth. You'll also see here that you just have a page number, and you will see that it will look different in the MLA example. I tend to think that APA and Harvard are more similar, and then MLA has a unique type of style, and you need to really be sure what style it is that you need to follow. So this is an example of an APA student paper. You also have examples available for APA professional papers, and that will vary. I'm just going to scroll all the way down for you guys to show you the reference list as well, what that looks like. We see here the hanging indent. I have a couple of videos already on citations on my channel. I will link those also in the description box if you're interested in hearing more about the common mistakes and other things to do with referencing. I will just show you guys my favorite resource for Harvard referencing, and this is from Anglia, Ruskin University in the UK. You will see that they have several different options. I wish they had this for APA and MLA as well. They have a quick guide and a full guide in PDF format. Very good. They give you useful expressions. They have PowerPoint slides as well. You can also simply search the term that you are looking for. But what I really love most is the quick kind of outline here that you have, where you have the drop-down menu, and it explains, for example, if you have 4 or more authors that you need to cite in text, so in the body of your paper, it shows you how to do that quite nicely and easily. And you can skim through this as well. I will leave the link in the description box. In addition to all of the things that I've already mentioned, they have some additional information here on the side, as well as some different resources such as Google Scholar and RefWorks. So I definitely highly recommend the Anglia Ruskin University resource for Harvard referencing. And last but not least, the style that I used for most of my studies is MLA, so the Modern Language Association. This is commonly used for humanities subjects and liberal arts in the United States. You will notice here that the last name is preceding the page number on every page. There is no need for a a title page, you simply put up here in the top left corner your name, the teacher's name, the class, and the dates, and then here is your title. Very simple, no extra fluff or anything like that. There is specific spacing that you need to have. It is double spaced, and you are supposed to use 12-point font with Times New Roman. And there's very specific information here that this resource will give you. I will link this also for you guys in the description box. And you will notice that there are some differences, and it is very important that you understand which format and style you are supposed to be using, and that you follow appropriate guides. If your university has a guide that lays it out for you, or your teacher gives any specific recommendation, please follow those recommendations first, and then go to official sources such as the Purdue Writing Lab. Here it is called Works Cited rather than bibliography or references or reference lists. That is something different than in APA and Harvard, and you will see that some of the spacing is a bit different as well. So, paragraphing or writing and formatting proper paragraphs is an extremely important part of structuring an essay, and we will have an upcoming video on that topic. And then in addition to that, linking and transition words and phrases are extremely important as well as using clear and concise language that goes in line with clarity. And last but not least, of course, the proper use of sources both in text and in your reference list is extremely important and must not be overlooked when you are trying to structure a proper academic essay. Next week's video will cover academic sources in more depth. Thank you for watching today's video as part of our Writing Wednesday series here at International Yankee English. I also post weekly videos every Saturday called Study Saturday. I have a Facebook support group. I run free conversation classes every month on Zoom. And I also am launching my official website as well as Patreon account where you can get different levels of English support, varying from minor extra worksheets and support exercises all the way through to full-on ebooks, online courses, discounts on private lessons, etc. So be sure to check that all out. If you haven't, I will have links below in the description box. And I hope to see you next time at either Study Saturday or Writing Wednesday. Bye!